What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part lucky number 13 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Matilda von Sinclair arrived at her home, the Silver Pinnacle, and took it over from the Bone Rattlers. The faction does remain alive, but we do now own a pretty nice province out of it, as it does has a cursed gemstone mine, and that provides both the trade resource as well as a significant amount of money. So once we build it up, this province will definitely help being a cash cow. That said, we probably can't get the full province right now. While we can certainly go down here and destroy or raid these locations, taking them may not be the right move. Mostly because I feel like it would be better to create a sort of ruin barrier between us and any other nearby factions, as there are both Skaven nearby, Imric is nearby, Grimgor is nearby, and I'd really prefer that they all not stream over here. We have other places to fight as we currently are, especially as Vlad is currently moving up north and is about to hit Kislev, and will probably be doing a lot of fighting with whatever is coming down from the north here. Probably would not be a great idea to extend our borders. Anyway, let's get started here on the aftermath of the taking of the Lamian home territory. What do we need to do? First of all, Silver Pinnacle. Obviously, you're going to need walls, which is quite the expense, but what can you do? Then, let's move you, Sivan, into the province where the Queen Bee is, and then have you immediately attack Masha. Let's hope that we get a blood kiss for that, and indeed we do. Lovely. Well done, Sivan. And obviously we'll have Sivan follow Batilda around now that she has Queen Bee available. Though we gotta remember that Hive Mind is also soon going to be available, and we will need to make use of that construction cost reduction for vampiric layers. Then, Batilda, I want you to move, let's say, here to the edge of our territory. Don't need to stay in the Silver Pinnacle for now, and go into channeling stance, because we are losing Winds of Magic, and we will be moving down, possibly via raiding or not, to these territories, wherein we will at least sack them for the money, because otherwise we're spending a lot of money on this army, which otherwise would not be needed. The other option would have been to take out most of these forces and just stay here, but then Azag would have come back. Ideally, what I'd prefer to do is ruinate these places and then either go back to hold the Silver Pinnacle, or leave a Necromancer to hold it like we're doing with the Fort Saul, though it would cost an extra lord, and then proceed to try to take Mount Gunbad and its gold mine with Batilda instead. It is still in the mountains, so it would not be the worst place to hold. Also, the dwarfs are still fighting with these guys, eh? That's interesting. You know what? As long as they're all occupied, I'm happy. Now, Vlad can't move, but you, Rudolph, you can, though I'm not entirely sure whether it would be beneficial to move you out right now. Let's see. Well, you do heal up quite a bit. So here's the thing. We may want to attack Matorka, and we may want to attack it shortly. The problem is, of course, that Rudolph's army isn't all that strong as yet, but we can raise some good stuff in this particular location. And I was eventually thinking about separating this army into different armies, i.e. getting a von Carstein lord, and giving him the Sternsman as well as some more Graveguard if possible, although ironically we can't raise more Graveguard here. You know, perhaps... First of all, let's merge these zombies together. That'll leave us with 19 troops, eh? I'm just thinking, what can we get rid of here in order to power up this army so that it can function on its own for a little while? Either way, we'd probably do it next turn anyway, so let's move you into march stance and walk you to the edge of the territory, wherein you should still have access to the raised dead. Which indeed you do. And then next turn we will raise a few things as we march down towards Matorka. I'm not sure that we can reach it in a single go. And also the vampiric corruption here is really quite low, isn't it? Wait, but we're not suffering attrition because it's owned by other vampires? Huh. But we should suffer attrition at Karak Angazar, but we're not. Interesting. Maybe it's because of the +1? Well, we shall see. Rudolph, we're gonna have you attack either way, but let's give you raised dead first, because you really need it if you're going to be fighting, especially other undead. And then Necrarch Noble Blood, let's max that out because it's your best spell. Or increase the number of uses for Raised Dead and reduce the cost of invocation of Nehek upgraded. Lovely. Now, who can still move? Zelig Zubisendorf. You are ready to level up, but you also need to either Steel Tech or Assassinate. Since you're down on Steel Tech, I guess... What do we got here? 30 and 3, 32 and 1, and 29 and 4. Wait, but the success chance is still 67 everywhere, isn't it? Yeah, interestingly enough, it's just that it's less likely to get you wounded here in Krugenwald. Alright, Krugenwald it is, and it's a success. Well done, 3 turns of Steel Tech available. Now, I think there was another Necro around here. Oh, he's right there. Rambert, you are exhausted, so it would be pointless to even try doing anything with you, so just stay here. Hopefully you can acquire another Blood Kiss. We're going to be saving up a lot of Blood Kisses, though I think we will awaken a Strigoi next. Mostly because... Okay, what the heck is this? Frickin' side menu. I think we want to awaken a Strigoi to get that ambush bonus. Also, let's just briefly double-check quick deal. This and that's kind of okay, but that's about it for now. Okie dokie, that's fine. We have most of the alliances that we want currently. And Drika's really working for us, so... I'm happy so far. Malsar, you're exhausted as well from killing rats last time, but you know what? Go to the Sump Pit. This is free because there are Skaven there. Good. Not gonna cost you anything. And then you can try to assassinate or Steel Tech next turn. Beautiful. And I believe that's everybody. I'm about to end the turn and then hopefully take Kislev. Let's just double check that we can't build a gibbet everywhere. We have cancelled some stuff in favor of building gibbets, including, I believe, at Akendorf, yeah. But everything else I think might be okay. Yeah, looks like we're good. We'll save the rest of the money because we need to raise stuff and build stuff next turn. I don't want to raise because it would cost us money. Actually, speaking of raising stuff, if you are going to get 3 more units in this army, we can just remove these zombies right now. Although they only cost us 19. But to be fair, you have so many uses of Raised Dead, we won't be getting too much out of those zombies right now anyway. Alright, that looks good to me. Let's skip the rest of this, and then let's end the turn, and then let's hope that we get a nice battle out of Kislev. It looks like Vlad is close enough that if Egrim were to attack him, the garrison of Kislev would be drawn out, and then we'd be able to freely occupy it right after destroying these guys. And Ronnie the Treacherous was actually close enough to attack you. Oh. Well, that's great. That's great for Ronnie, because we're in March stance, but it's not as great as Ronnie might think. Because, well, let's just say the AI ain't so great at using the undead, though it's probably better at Vampire Coast than it is at Vampire. It's because Vampire Coast is a lot more forgiving with all their range. Now, we are obviously going to fight this. We're in March stance and we're a little bit down, but we gotta remember that our skeletons have perfect vigor now, so they're not really affected by the March stance. This is actually a good thing. Yes. Alright, let's destroy him in the field. We just gotta watch out for those mortars, but we do now have the zombies summoning. Cinematically? Yeah. Soon indeed. It really does seem like all the Vampire Lords aren't much for pre-battle speeches. Anyway, Ronnie the Treacherous has attacked us in our March stance, but he has not realized that he faces a Necrarch, a master of necromancy. So though he has the range superiority, especially with all of these units of artillery, and a set of deck gunners as well, he does have to deal with a lot of zombies. We're going to start this battle deployed completely in safety, hidden from the eyes of those artillery spotters, in this wooded area, which is also a high ground hill area. We are going to only have the zombies out if the enemy wants to focus those and get hit in the side, but it looks like they're not going to fall for that gambit, and the AI general is too smart for that one. That's okay, though. We do have more units moving in, like our Direwolves and our Varix Reavers, our Black Knights, who are ready to capitalize on the relatively exposed nature of the enemy artillery pieces and otherwise their big ranged pieces. Our Necrarch's going to move in and he's going to start with those uses of Raised Dead, as he does have, I think, 10 of them per battle, which is quite a bit. There we go, the deck gunners get a few shots up, but then the zombies drop down on top of them. Looks like the enemy's going to counter by using a Spirit Leech on the zombies. Or no, he's going to use an aspect of the Dread Knight on the deck gunners. Useless. And he's going to use a Spirit Leech on the zombies. Okay, oh, poor AI. That's, yeah, maybe the Necrarchs use his magic to muddle the AI's brain, because that was just a waste. Anyway, it looks like these deck gunners will fall immediately, or very shortly, and so will the first set of mortars as they're being attacked by direwolves. AI is going to counter by sending the sirens at our Necrarch, who's busily smacking those carronades around, though unfortunately, and I do think this seems like an error, the Necrarchs they don't have magical attacks, at least they don't have innate magical attacks, and it feels like probably they should. At least the Necrarchs should. If you're telling me that the Necrarch of all vampires haven't imbued whatever weapon they're using, including their frickin' staff, with magic, I'm going to call you a liar, because that's just not true and we all know it. So these guys really should have base magical attacks, but, well, whatever. We can give them a weapon later on, and that'll deal with it. Alrighty, well, oh, I didn't mean to speed it up that much. My bad, my bad. Alrighty, there we go. Well, the sirens are probably a good move to move in to distract our lord, though they are no longer as strong as they were because of the changes to the ethereal trait. But it's okay. The main thing is to just continue distracting them with more and more zombie summons, which has been working quite well. 2 of the enemy artillery pieces are dead, and another one will hopefully follow suit, and same with the deck gunners, so most of their best stuff has been destroyed. Oh wait, maybe one of their artillery pieces is dead? I see another one here. I guess this one's back here and this one ran away, but not to worry, we have more zombies heading towards it. The AI wants to attack our lord with that vampire fleet admiral. In addition to those sirens, we could just keep summoning zombies on them while we distract them. Also, our other direwolves are just going to go back into hiding briefly while the rest of our army starts moving forward and you know, threatening the enemy. It won't just be zombies, though the zombie invasion is working quite well. We can certainly do a decent amount of damage like this before the battle is joined. Alrighty, looks like the enemy is going to make use of its deck droppers to annoy our zombies, but honestly, this is probably not going to do much. The deck droppers, especially vanilla deck droppers, are not all that great. Another Spirit Leech going down. You gotta love that spell work. It looks like the it almost looks like a mini purple Son of Zoraeus is held in the hand, eh? Now the spells also conform stylistically to one theme a little bit more because of that addition. Anyway, looks like another carronade about to fall. Our Necrarch has used his Invocation of Nehek on himself and healed himself back up to full, while we continue dishing out damage and not suffering anything but the loss of slight amounts of Winds of Magic, heavily reduced by virtue of the Necrarch's capabilities or specializations. Lovely. Huh. The sound on the zombies fighting is gone again. There we go. Ah, no. It's gone again. There we go. I don't know what you're doing, game. Huh, it seems as you move close to the Necrarch, or maybe to the deck droppers, the sounds of battles disappear for whatever reason. Interesting. Well, regardless, it looks like the sirens, though nearly at half HP, and the Vampire Fleet Admiral have nearly gotten through their set of zombies, though at this point we have our army nearly coming out of the woods and even the zombies coming down from those hills. Our direwolves and our fellbats and our set of Varix Reavers are also getting ready to move right back into combat. We've distracted the enemy, maybe not long enough, but for a long enough while. That's sort of the same thing, isn't it? We've distracted them sufficiently. We could have distracted them longer, but let's say it's sufficient to, at the very least, attack some Sartosan militia. There we go, the bats are going to drop in, and the Varix Reavers are going to follow suit with a charge into their backs as the bats have distracted them. And then the relatively more hurt dire doggos are going to hit them in the back as well. There we go, and while the Sartosan militia are probably going to be able to survive this a little better than the zombie pirate gunnery mobs, they're certainly not going to survive it for long, especially when under attack by the Varix Reavers. Though maybe a little bit better against the doggos and the bats there. Alrighty, well that's looking pretty good. Just gonna have to heal up one of our doggos, because once again the Sartosan militia are hybrid infantry and are pretty okay at melee defense. But that's fine. Necrarch still fighting in the center, still summoning massive amounts of zombies, and it looks like the rest of our force is nearly here. The enemy's using its deck droppers to try to distract our various ranged units, though the forest-stalking wood elves are in a pretty good position to continue fighting in the woods here, so can't complain too much about that. Only the crossbowmen, I suppose, can complain. They've also used their sirens to decent effect here to stop several of our units of skeleton warriors from joining the fray, though unfortunately for them, we don't really need them. Our main unit, the Sternsman, and the corpse cart that's providing its vigor mortis is moving towards the enemy lord to assassinate him. There we go. A little task force sent for him, although I suppose our lord could have killed him by himself if he had just summoned sufficient zombies on top of him. Those zombies are currently being used to distract further units. Anyway, these three Sartosan militia companies are dead, and the units of hand bombs here, bombers rather, is getting overwhelmed or overrun by zombies and will no longer be able to apply those bombs shortly. Otherwise, it looks like the sirens are melting, and there isn't much left of this enemy army. Balance of power is very much in our favor. Lord is overrun now by the Sternsman, plus plus our own Lord working at it. And the corpse cart helping everybody out as well. Beautiful. Alrighty, I feel like this was a very Necrarch way to win this battle, so I gotta appreciate it. As it did work out exactly as it should for the debut of the Necrarch Lord. I mean, I suppose his real debut was when he fought with Draika, but, you know, that one was really Draika winning the battle much more so than we did. We only provided some support. Anyway, looks like we're done here. The enemy army is now crumbling and in critical binding. A few more hits and that Vampire Admiral will fall just like the rest of his army. It's too bad we can't steal carronades and mortars for ourselves. I feel like we should be able to. Like, regardless of the fact that we can't build Vampire Coast units, I really don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to force zombies to operate those carronades. Or those mortars. And honestly, really any of their zombie units. Like, I would see why Depth Guard might not want to join us because they're vampires, but I can see why... But I can't see why... Well, same with the Sartosan Militia, I guess. I can't see why we wouldn't be able to take control of enemy zombies. Anyway, there we go, let's speed it up a little bit. We're going to have to chase down the actual Sartosan militia, because of course they're also living units. But that'll give us time to get a little bit of an overcast invocation of Nehek on some of our units that were more hurt, which is obviously our quicker movers. Gotta remember that the Fellbats and the Dire Doggos are not the same in this army, or any other army as they are in Vlad's. They're a lot more effective with Isabella powering them up massively, so we shouldn't rely on them nearly as much here. But, you know, they'll be replaced eventually. Anyway. Poor Ronnie the Treacherous. Treachery did not serve him this day, though, wow, he got his entire set of artillery back. Every single artillery piece, but not the rest of his army, but it's a little bit annoying. We're gonna take the money because we're still in our own territory, so should be healing up nicely. And then let's see if we can destroy those artillery pieces afterwards. That was still pretty nice though. And oh, Egrim ran away. Oh, you coward. You're just gonna leave Kislev to die? Okay, well, he's gonna leave Kislev to die. Free Kislev, I guess, but I really would have rather had the battle. Not to worry, I'm sure we will be able to hunt him down. Looks like Khalid no longer wants military access with us, and I'm perfectly fine with that. The less alliances we have with him, the less Droika doesn't appreciate it. The migration is now up yet again, but I think we're just not going to get the reduced control. Because at the end of the day, extra control means extra growth. Though the recruitment cost... No, it's not raised dead cost reduction, it's recruitment cost reduction, which I don't believe applies. Though, then again, would it? I don't think so, because they are separate. No, they wouldn't be separated if it did. So then it would be pretty useless. Just be gone. No migrating here. And ambusher discovered. We got constructor for Batilda, who's rebuilding Lamia. Vlad, you are going to take out Kislev, and we're gonna auto-resolve this, because, yeah, this is not worth fighting. Oh, we got a Talisman of Preservation out of it, though. Very nice. That's a pretty nice pickup. More awards say Vlad currently has just the Dawnstone. Well, this is a significant upgrade for him. And the River Urskoy is now ours, and hopefully we can turn it into a cash cow. Obviously, this is going to get replaced later on by the von Carstein ring, as soon as Vlad is not too busy to go and actually take it, which should I hope will be shortly. Let's also assassinate one of these guys. Come on, more blood kisses. Ah, no dice. Well, we can't have them all work. It's okay. Not a big deal. Kislev, you need a charnel pit immediately. And let's get you your foster terror for the additional growth. Oh, what the heck? Egrim's down here. Maybe he wants to retake Beckhofen. Actually, speaking of Beckhofen, you need growth as well. 1,000 gold invested into that. Oh well. Then again, the walls are now up here, and while the garrison may be trash, I don't think you're going to attack it straight up. You'd probably siege it a little bit, even with the spawn that you have. So we'll see about that. Anyway, Vlad, I guess you have no choice but to sit here for a little while. Let's check back on what's going on down here. So Ronnie the Treacherous is basically done, minus the fact that he still has his stupid artillery. Rudolph, you are still going to raise some dead. Specifically, I want another corpse cart, so that we have 2 in the main line. At least until we can get a Mortis engine. I want another Mourngul, at least until we can get another Mourngul. And at least ooh, we can get another Graveguard. I was thinking perhaps we want to get a Black Knight and maybe a Vargulf. Once again, this army is mostly going to go to a von Carstein Lord, so it will pick up all of this stuff. We get another Lances and Barding Black Knights set to complement the Varix Reavers. That wouldn't be too bad, minus the fact that these guys are 300 cost in upkeep per turn. It's a little bit on the steep side, but you're going to keep the Mournguls, but you're not going to keep the Black Knights. I'm very tempted to get the Vargulf as well, because you gotta love those Bad Hulks. But I think it's a little bit on the too expensive side now as well. Although 392 isn't that much more expensive than the Black Knights. You know what, maybe later. Maybe later, I don't want to go overboard. And I'm still very tempted to grab that Graveguard, but then what, delete yet another zombie unit? How soon, I suppose, is the question, will we be separating these forces into 2? Probably not within the next couple turns. You know what, I think this is fine as it is. Let's do what we can with what we've got. 2 corpse carts should be sufficient to maintain this line. Actually, if we were to delete these zombies, we could get another Sylvanian crossbow as well as a Graveguard. At least until we can get our ethereals. Though that would not leave room for another Mourngul. If we were to replace one of the corpse carts with a Mortis engine, we would be able to then delete the other one. Although they're a lot cheaper than Mortis engines. Mortis engines are just so damn good. I can't wait until we can raise some. You know what? Delete these zombies. The thing is, as we saw in that battle, the Lord's pretty great at summoning. And while the zombies are cheap, we don't know what we'll get hit by. Like 2 Sartosan stacks, for example, is not something we're going to be contending with. Let's recruit you. Let's raise the guard. There we go. And then you, auto-resolve this. And then proceed to Matorka. which should also be auto-resolvable. But we're going to sack it to get our money back that we just used. Let us get tiny bit of you know what? This is also minuscule, but you know, let's just return those captives. Melee attack when fighting at sea. Pirate Hunter achieved over a victory over a vampire coast. Well, that's swell. More importantly, you're gonna sack this. Mostly for the quest, otherwise I just take it over. Yeah, nobody will die, even though they had a bloated corpse, which is a very good chance of destroying these types of units. Sacking will give us 13... Plus, yeah, it'll give us like 3,600 overall. Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. It's a decent amount of cash. And then I guess you could take it over immediately, which will... which will mean you'll need to repair it immediately, but you'll A, be able to heal up, and then also get that fell cargo next turn. Would mean not returning to Eckendorf for now, but would that be so bad? Probably not. And ooh, we can finally raise some ethereal units here. That's nice. That's real nice. You know what, fine, yeah, take it over for now. We could have allowed the AI to repair this stuff, but actually, at the very least, the main building isn't that costly to repair. Also, Eckendorf. Now, I wanted to raise some Cairn Wraiths here, because this army is going to have a bunch of ethereal units. That said, do we want to invest in this now, over just slowly raising them? I mean, clearly we're occasionally going to get them in the raised dead pool, so we may not necessarily have to rely on it like that. Also, while we're here, upkeep reduction could be very useful. Or do we just keep going? You know what? Either way, I think we want to reduce the cooldown. We want Dark Pact. There's a lot of good stuff here for the early form. Aura of Supremacy could help. Definitely get the Invocation of Nehek upgraded, though. The second level of Raised Dead isn't as useful right now. What's your upkeep cost, by the way? It's fairly high, and it's gonna get higher when we get a bunch of Cairn Wraiths in here. Ooh, we do want potentially the Spirit Leech as well. And Pan's Impenetrable Pelt is pretty decent, too. He's got a pretty good lore, I like it. Although the purple sounds a little bit iffy. Sometimes it's amazing, other times, well, it's a vortex, so... Yeah, never know. You know what, let's get you the Hunger. Just so that you're not super badly damaged. Let's just get you Aura of Supremacy. Then we will pick up the Dark Pact. You'll automatically get your Zombie Dragon. We will then move probably through the Children of the Night to get that upkeep reduction. Yeah, alright, I like that. That'll work. Well done, Rudolph. This is your sort of debut. Also, you got a Scroll of Liko, so we're going to combine that with a Scroll of Shielding into an Armor of Silvered Steel. Okay, that's kind of garbage, I gotta say. But, well, we can combine that with something else to hopefully get something better. In the meantime, I suppose you could have the Dawnstone, but let's just double-check what exactly Batilda is holding. She's got an Obsidian Lodestone. Why do you have an Obsidian Lodestone? Well, because there's nothing else. Obsidian Lodestone's kind of meh. You can hold on to the Charmed Shield for the damage resistance, but let's give you the regular Dawnstone for now, as it is better. And I do believe that's it. Wait, Vlad has a Featherfoe Torque? It's mostly because he doesn't really need anything, because he's already so strong. We could give him the Potion of Healing, but he's never really gotten that hurt. I think he's fine as he is. Alright, let's hold on to it like that, but let's give you, briefly at least, the Armor of Silvered Steel. And I guess the Obsidian Lodestone. And... wait, Ogre Blade? What is Bathilda using again? I don't remember. Let's briefly give you the Ogre Blade. This is so weird. We have a strong Necrarch using an Ogre Blade. He's a very fighty Necrarch. He doesn't believe in stereotypes. You are using the Sword of Strife. For the extra melee attack. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Hard to hit for you. And you are now able to move out of your territory. So, wait, let's just see what we have here. 3,200 and... ooh, that's a big pool of undead. Let's move into this. I want to see what's here. Raised Dead. Another nice pool. 3 potential Cairn Wraiths. If only you guys had swapped positions a little bit. When we've been able to raise in 2 Blood Knights. 2 Hex Wraiths. Oh my. 2 Terrorgeists, 2 Vargulfs. Okay, so we basically have everything we could ever want here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, 2 Mortis Engines? Okay, well, we have to get the Mortis Engine right now. In fact, let's delete one of these Skeleton Warriors. And I know that it's costly, but Mortis Engines are too good to pass up. I'm tempted to get the second one, but it's so costly in terms of turn-over-turn upkeep that we'll come back for it later. I just gotta remember that there is a Mortis Engine here. Amazing. That was a really lucky find. Huh. That makes me think. If that popped up Mortis Engines, I feel like there was big battles here, even before we came here. I can't frickin' mouse over this, but, we checked there, but it grows over time, and it should increase as we continue vampirically corrupting it. So perhaps there will be possibility for raising a Mortis Engine or various other ethereal units on that side. We'll check it out. Anyway, let's keep going. Savan, you need to keep following Batilda. Actually, Batilda, maybe what we want to do right now is risk moving you south really quickly, as in traveling down here. Also, wait, you have... we could get another unit of Hex Rates if we want, but you're not going to hold on to the Chillgeist, so ultimately it won't matter that much. I'm very, very tempted to just replace this Corpse Guard with another Mortis Engine, but 800 per turn is just way too much. Yes. Let's March Stance you out. We saw what we can do even in March Stance with our Necrarch. So I'm thinking we want to try to get to Howling Rock as fast as possible and then take it over and destroy them for good. Sack them, raise them, stick them in a stew, etc. Alright, ooh, yes, Silver Pinnacle upgrade. Let's turn to money and let's turn to assassination and such. You have steel tech, so you're able to try to go after Samuel Udenhoff, though your chance of success ain't super high. Give it a try. High enough to kill him. Very nice, Telig, very nice. We're at 2 out of 3 for those blood kisses. You still can steel tech, however. What do we have? 64, 32, 4. 44, no thank you. I guess this is the only option, so Middenheim you go. Ah, failure. Okay, so we will have 1 chance to get that back. Also, we're at 257 now. I think we're missing 1 Necro's worth of steel tech, which is not yours. Oh, although it will be yours in 1 turn. Do we want to assassinate first and ask questions later? In an ideal world, yes, but the thing is, once you succeed at assassinating, you are exhausted, then you won't be able to steal tech afterwards either. So let's not risk it, let's go for some pit, let's try to steal tech instead. Ah, you failed at that too. Pointless deliberation sometimes. Oh well. Waller, you stay where you are, and now it's a matter of building buildings. Talabek clan, Krugenheim, I still want to trade you to these guys. Honestly, I'm tempted to just gift it to you. Mostly because there's no point in holding on to it, it gives us nothing. I really wanted Flensburg, but it doesn't seem likely that these guys are going to let it go. Also, we made room. So you know what, for now, build the Gibbet. You're generating some income, and we clearly need more to counteract the fact that we just spent a lot of cash. Let's also delete this Lodestone of Darkness here, as I don't think it's going to be of any help. You know, we could also potentially do... Wait. What do you want? What do you want for Karakungor? Although, wait, if we take Karakungor, Gorok is here, he's going to come out and take it. Well, I guess Vlad can go and hunt him down next turn if we're free to abandon Kislev. Oh, we could take the risk. Also, we could always build a Necromancer and raise dead there. I think that's the way to go. We'll talk to Dreka in a bit. I want this gold mine. I also want the Gibbet that we were building, but now I don't remember where it was. It wasn't you, Akendorf. We just built one there. Solland, Steingart. Let's upgrade you so that we can start on the Gibbet here as well. Nice, nice. A few more Gibbets will completely counterbalance what we just spent in terms of raising Mortis Engines and stuff, and I think we're good. Save the rest of the money, or spend it on upgrading Oakenhammer. 4,800, damn, a little bit short. It's okay. Also, there's still this Orky army to worry about, but I don't think they're strong enough to take Akendorf. What we could do is upgrade Akendorf's walls, but once again, we're not under threat currently, so it might be better to just leave them alone. It's probably also only a matter of time until the Bloody Hands come for us, and we're kind of very near to them. You know what we could do? Waller, You're gonna go here, and we'll have you start raiding them. Do you need 50% for raiding? Yeah, 50. Alright, so stay in your own territory and start raiding them. They're orcs. Let's face it, we're gonna be at war with all the orky factions. We're currently at war with most of them, and eventually we'll be at war with all of them. Are they fighting Sartosa? No, they're just coming up here. Yeah, see? This is one we've got to worry about with Rudolph. Alright, well, regardless. Damage building, ignore that, end the turn. See if anything interesting happens, but otherwise move Vlad south, and let's hope we can get that last Blood Kiss available for our ambush via Awakening a Strigoi Bloodline. Belagar's still running around. He just destroyed that little army, though. Oh, he's gonna take care of Kangazar, isn't he? I'd rather take it ourselves, but we don't have an army to capitalize on a war with the Bloody Hands right now, anyway. Ah, look, Spite Backbiters is coming near. Settlement receives plague, Krugenheim. I did say I didn't want to hold on to Krugenheim, and it's, well, it's now plagued up. Ooh, we're probably gonna get plagues ravaging our territories. And the Nurgle corruption is going to cause problems with regards to our vampiric corruption, which will be another reason to possibly build Balefire Braziers. And ooh, hello, Azazel. Are you coming for Beckhofen? Well, you can have it. I was gonna go for Chikova, but you know what? I'd really rather get a nice fight with Azazel. Now here's the question, was this... Huh, yeah, wait, I think this was Egram's army. Azazel just came back and it replaced. Okay, that's fine. Vlad, you're gonna get attrition-y, and will he run? I'm willing to bet he'll run. Then the question will be, is it better to just go... Ooh, you know what? If we can get the Bloodline, we could go ambush here with a very high chance. We're already at 55% and 80% here. You know what? Let's work on the Bloodline first. I think this is the... I think we got a good chance here. Also, before I forget, Waller. Went to raiding stance. Start annoying the Bloody Hands. 134. It ain't much, but it's dishonest work. Alright, Sivan. Do you have an assassination target? You may, but you're not near to anybody. Although, you know what you are near? You are near this territory, so we might be able to at least block the army. Not that it'll do so much for us, but it might level you up. Which I gotta appreciate. There we go. Plus, it's practically free when you have a Queen Bee nearby, reducing the cost. Let's buff up Block Army as well. Then, Batilda. You're suffering a little bit of attrition by virtue of your march stance, but you are able to go to Howling Rock. And let's see what's in here. You do have your Mortis engine. Now, it'll be a Pyrrhic victory, though we could auto-resolve it if we wanted to. It's a pretty pathetic fight. You know, we could fight this manually, but this isn't the main important thing that we got going for us right now. Let's just try to get those blood kisses first. Edmund. The Necro. 32 and 2. 32 and 7, okay. Let's try this guy, come on. Ah, damn it. We just need one game. You are still exhausted, so this is pointless for you. You. Alright, try to go for either one of these guys. You are at 43 and 1, and you are at 43 and 1, identical? 56. 56. Huh. Which one then? Try this one. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, yes, alrighty. This will allow us to get a Strigoi up and running with that ambush success chance another 20%. Beautiful. I was hoping to keep saving up for the third level of Necrarch because that minus 10% upkeep is just too good. But this will allow us to ambush a little bit better. Vlad, if you move into one here, you'd have 100% ambush. I don't think that doesn't mean it can't get foiled. I think that means if the enemy actually goes near you, but hopefully they would have no idea that you are near. There's no way that he tries to stand fight, right? His army's too weak. I think he tried to run away from Vlad before. Yeah, he tried to run from Vlad with that same army when he was Egrim. So let's do this. Go to where there's a 100 ambush chance. I doubt he's gonna go for this. Most likely I think he's gonna go for Beckhofen, but if he sieges it, that's great. And if he doesn't, well... we'll see. Alright, Vlad, you got this, buddy. Oh, I thought it was 100. Did I move into the 70% territory? I did, didn't I?
I shall enslave the world.
90? Oh, I thought it was 100. Nah, well, 90 is good enough.
If you think it is wise.
A little bit more attrition. We do need to get that tech that reduces our attrition from territory of the lands of the living. That'll follow shortly, and looks like Krugenwald has fallen to another Egrim. Lots of Egrims in the Norscan territories, or various Norscan factions, rather. You. I was gonna have you steal tech, but you failed last time. Try again, I guess. Alright, you succeeded this time. Next, you will start assassinating lords of Clan Moors. And let's buff up your steel tech as well. Generally speaking, I forgot to mention this, it's better to buff up Wound first than Steel Tech later, because Steel Tech is very minor difference, whereas Wound is a pretty major 7% per skill point one. Alrighty, Rudolph. You are going to quickly grab this, I would imagine, with an auto-resolve. We could also move here and sack Stone Mine Tower, but I think we'll do that after healing up a little bit. Yeah. Alright, fine. This should be auto-resolvable, I would think. Sail to the wreck. And it's a garbage little army. Oh, wow, okay, fine. Let's quickly manually fight this. Use our range to kill the rotting Leviathan. Okay, fine. Just gonna fight this manually. I mean, fair enough. This is a Rudolph, a Necrarch debut sort of episode. We've had some Bathilda-focused episodes, and it's time for Rudolph and our Necrarch to take the field. Obviously, later on, we'll try to have some episodes for our Strigoi, and for our von Carstein, and for our Blood Dragon as they come up. And maybe if we manage to confederate anybody. We'll see about that. We still need to figure out how we're going to get reputation with the Caravan of Blue Roses, because they're kind of not in an ideal position. But oh well. Alrighty, let's set this up. You guys are going to have to be careful, because you're quite badly damaged from last round. We can use the Mourngulls a little bit closer as a separate group. You are just going to fly in and start dropping zombies on them, as you like to do. You, ranged units, I want you to stay back a little bit from the main force, because you're going to be focusing down that big boy hermit crab. You two here, and here together with the skellies. Other skellies protect the flanks. Probably should have been the other way around with the spears on the flanks, but it's not like the enemy has cav to worry about. And then you guys, what's the range of your Vigor Mortis again? Wait, let's do... I think this is perfect. You know what? Screw it, let's just make a main line instead of bothering with the flanks. Probably too complicated for such a small enemy army. Vigor Mortis range is at... yeah, these three, and then the other one is... that, a little bit too far. Yeah, they need to extend the Vigor Mortis range just slightly. Okay, there we go. Looks good to me. You're going to be group 2. I'm going to tell you to auto-attack. You're going to be group 3. Alrighty, and I think we just control the rest manually. Alright, go. I'll lock it down and go. You, move in. They don't have artillery to worry about, do they? Alright, Mourngulls, move around. You guys ready to hit him in the back? You guys ready to hit him in the back? You move around, Lances and Barding as well. Try not to get shot up too much. There is an enemy depth guard unit, which we need to focus down with our range, but for now, let's start by dropping zombies. Hand cannons, gunnery mob. Really anybody, it doesn't matter. Just stay away from the rotting Leviathan, as it can, in fact, hurt you. There we go. Oh, is he really going to use the breath through his own troops? Oh, AI. Alright, Depth Guard. You are going to be our first target with our range. You keep floating overhead. Aha. Lances and Barding, you found yourself an isolated enemy. Go for that. Mourngulls, get ready to go. Actually a damaging spell. A purple set of Zaraeus, while I know I was talking smack about it earlier. Probably could have been useful here. You know what, let's lift off and summon another zombie while we're busy. You, range units, need to go after those Depth Guard. You guys keep moving. Depth Guard are going to start mowing us down. Let's have the Lances and Barding charge into them, while the Mourngulls take care of the enemy range units. Go after those zombie-powered gunnery mobs. You move in, get ready to summon more. It looks like we're good on this side. That zombie-powered gunnery mob is dead. This really should have been auto-resolvable. Summon another unit of zombies to distract. Right there. And start fighting the enemy lord. Good. Oh, wow, Mourngulls, you got beat up. Let's have you healed up. Nice. Go after them, go after them. How are those Depth Guard looking? You know what, you guys set up to the side so you can fire on the Depth Guard. Turn off all your skirmish modes, please. You won't be needing it. Oh, did I targeted the wrong unit? Alright, good. Lances, go after the vampire. And you guys get ready to hit the zombie pirate mob in the back. Those hand cannons are doing a decent job surviving. Let's also summon another set of zombies to continue distracting the hermit crab. All of you keep going after those relatively easy to kill depth guard. Alright, time to Spirit Leech the Lord. You are getting a little bit beat up. Anybody need a heal? Anybody need a heal? No, I think we're okay. Alright, you guys, get ready to hit him in the back. Just stay enough distance away. Alright, looking good to me, looking good to me. Depth Guard are nearly dead. Ranged units switch to the Hermit Crab. You guys can destroy the Depth Guard for good. I really want to ally with Noctilus just to get some of our own Depth Guard. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be Noctilus specifically, but, well, he would work. Also, you're kind of damaged. Let's get you a heal up. And, well, actually, this bat unit is failing. Let's move it away. Really? Against the zombie powered deckhand mob? Ooh, well, the breaths aren't gonna help matters. Yeah, let's move that away. Alright, ranged, focus down. Hermit crab zombies, keep distracting it while we kill the enemy lord. And then let's move all the fragile units away so that they don't get hurt anymore. There we go, looks good to me. And, oh, no. Okay, let's move you away, move you away. We need more zombies summoned here. Don't want to be fighting that. Especially with our knights, you're gonna lift off, and zombies coming on in. Well, I guess the skeleton spears can fight. They'll get damaged, but you know, they're skeleton spears, so who cares? Range units, you doing okay? Let's move the bats away. Let's move you guys away here as well. Alrighty, looks like the enemy lord is almost dead. Let's drop one more Spirit Leech on him, which should take him out. Like so. And everybody else just stay away. You know what? More goals, you might be able to help with this. Oh, actually, you're still fighting. For another few seconds, at least. Let's also get an Overcast Invocation of the Hex shortly, though. It looks like that thing's gonna fall. So let's Overcast of an Invocation on you three. Perfect. And we'll need one non-Overcast one on the Knights with Lances and Barding, but it will not be in time because the battle's over. Lovely. Easy enough. Well done, Rudolph. 91 losses, probably mostly to breaths. Actually, the Depth Guard tore some of our units apart, and I'm impressed with the zombie-powered deckhand mob with polearms. They held the ground admirably. Granted, against zombies and other trash units, but still. Really could use that second set of Mourngulls. And once again, I am going to keep Mourngulls in this army because they are they share the same tree as the Hex Wraiths and Cairn Wraiths, which are going to be the focus for you anyway. Money or replenishment? We're going back to our own territory anyway, so I feel like replenishment is not the way to go. Though if we move to sack Orky territory, it may be. 740 ain't much money after all. You know what, let's just dominate those captives depending on where we go, and let's see what we've got here as a reward as well. Alrighty, ambush defense chance, well, if we're fighting Skaven later on, an 8,000 gold, or favor, or dark magic. Very nice, very nice. It's definitely a reason to potentially send one of the vampires out to gather materials at sea, with the hope of actually getting the materials at sea buff specifically. So I'll have to give that some thought. Otherwise, unfortunately, we're out of time, and though Rudolph has had his debut, all good things have to come to an end, so I am going to call this episode here. Next time, we will probably raid some orcs or do something. He does have the sacking buff, so he may as well start using it, though we do have to be careful about the bloody hands, which we saw have a full stack nearby, and could very well hit him. He's probably not adept enough to take on a bloody hand stack, though with all those raised deads, he's a lot more powerful than he seems. Just gotta get him at least a few of those ethereal units, and he'll be looking good. Otherwise, most likely we will have a battle as Batilda attacks Howling Rock, and possibly the Desolation of Drakenmoor after that, and then slowly begins to head up towards Mount Gunbad. Hopefully before they start going for our territories here, though they're looking pretty okay in terms of the defense. Lastly, Vlad is in ambush and may be able to get his battle against the Zazel here. We'll find out next time, so stay tuned for more Vlad and Izzy. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm, and I guess the Necrarch this time around. And thanks for watching.